All right, this video is going to just review some of the geometry that you've learned in grade 5 and grade 6 and in grade 7. So the first thing that I want you to do is just look at this page that's in your notes and review these terms. These should be very familiar to you. You've been using them for a long time. So remember that acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees. Angles that are exactly 90 degrees are called right angles. And the way that you look for those is you look for that little square box in an angle. Angles that are between 90 and 180 are called obtuse angles. An angle that is exactly 180 degrees is called a straight angle. Reflex angles are any angle that is over 180 and less than 360. And then the last three here are things that you'll use when you're trying to find missing angles. So complementary angles are any angles that add up to 90 degrees. It might be 2 angles, 3 angles, or more. They're called complementary if they add to 90. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. And then the last one are opposite angles. And opposite angles are always equal to one another. And those occur if you have two lines that intersect, and the angles that are across from one another when that happens are called opposite angles. And you can see that down here with the red dots. More terminology just for you to recall. Acute triangles have 3 acute angles in them. Right triangles have 1 right angle and 2 acute angles. Obtuse triangles have 1 obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. Scalene triangles are triangles where there are no equal sides, and because there are no equal sides, there are no equal angles. Isosceles triangles have 2 equal sides and then therefore have 2 equal angles. And finally, equilateral triangles have 3 equal sides, and because angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, each angle in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you are classifying triangles, if it asks you to classify, you need to have 2 names. You need to have a name that classifies by angle, either acute, right, or obtuse, and you need a name that classifies by side length, either scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. So let's just do a quick little review with a couple examples. So how do we find the complementary angle of the following? Complementary, remember, adds up to 90. So you just do 90 minus 35. And when you do that, you will get Sorry there, I just dropped something on the floor. So when you do 90 minus 35, you will get 55 degrees, and so that answer is going to be 55 degrees. And my computer's also not writing very well right now. And then the next one, again, you do 90 minus 72 degrees. When you do 90 minus 72 degrees, you get 18 degrees. Finding the supplementary angle, remember these ones add up to 180 degrees. So you're going to do 180 minus 35, and in this case you're going to get 145 degrees. And then again, this one here, you're going to do 180 minus 72. And you're going to get 108 degrees. Now this last one is a little bit of a tricky one. It asks you to find the complement of the supplement of 140. So you have to break down the words there. First of all, what is the supplement of 140? The supplement of 140 is 40 degrees. Then, what is the complement of that? So what is the complement? And I apologize, you can barely read that, of 40, and the complement of 40 is 50 degrees. So the complement of the supplement of 140 is actually going to be 50 degrees. Now moving on to some more examples. How do we classify? Again, this should be very, very quick review. 35 degrees is known as an acute angle. 180 is known as a straight angle. 244 is more than 180, so it's called a reflex angle. 143 degrees is an obtuse angle. 90 degrees is a right angle. When we classify triangles, we classify them using side lengths and angles. So this one here shows that all 3 angles are the same, all 3 sides are the same, all 3 angles are less than 90 degrees. So it is an equilateral and it is acute. Another word that you will sometimes see is equiangular. This one here, two sides are the same, so that is isosceles. And there is a 90-degree angle, so it is a right isosceles triangle. And this one here has three different sides, so it is scalene. And it has one obtuse angle, so it is called an obtuse angled triangle. A few more examples to look at. So if you're asked to find the missing angles, we're going to be using things like opposite angles and supplementary angles. So here, for example, 134 and B, sorry, not 134, 34 and B are opposite to one another. So B is equal to 34 degrees. To get the other angles, you have to think that A and 34 are supplementary. So if you notice these two here, these two here are along a straight line. They add up to 180 degrees. So 180 minus 34 is 146 degrees. And then A and C are opposite. In this bottom one, first of all, we can notice that these three angles here are along a straight line, so they will add up to 180 degrees. So 40 plus 80 is 120. 180 minus 120 is 60, so C must be 60 degrees. The other thing you'll notice is that these two angles are along a straight line, and so A must be 180 minus 80, or 100 degrees. And then you'll notice that B and 80 are opposites. And so that's how you're going to find the missing angles for that one. Finally, you're going to just do a quick review, read these through, quick review of names of shapes, because those are going to be important to know when we get into angles, interior and exterior angles of polygons. You're going to need to know that a nonagon has 9 sides, for example, or a dodecagon has 12 sides. So again, just familiarize yourself with these names. You know them, you've learned them in the past, but kind of just a chance to refresh your memory.